Hello, how are you guys? Today we are going to learn how to correctly cut our waistband. We're going to learn how to cut on the pattern and on fabric. But first, we're going to learn how to cut with small examples to learn how to correctly place our waistband. Remember that we have already learned how to make the pattern. We had also learned how to sew and also learned how to attach the waistband to the pants. As always, So guys, if you haven't watched the videos, after you finish watching this video, after you share, like, and comment, you can go watch the others. I also leave them in the description so you can learn from scratch. Having said this, let's start. Well, first we are going to cut our pattern that we have here on the newspaper. We will cut first on the lower part. In this way. Remember that when we cut this waistband, we can do it on the fold of the paper or just one, okay? Then we cut along the top, although we can cut in any direction. The important thing is to cut along the lines. Before cutting the waistband, we must remember to fold the paper in half at the center where we have the line M. If you don't do this, you would be cutting only one half of the waistband. By folding, we are cutting our waistband completely. We continue. Well guys, I decided to make this video because many people sometimes ask me how to cut on fabric or how to cut the pattern. This is how you cut the pattern, the waistband template. Here, I have two examples of how the waistband can turn out when you cut it. You can cut it in one go, which would be half, it would be one part. Or, you can cut it on the fold of the paper, which will be on point M, and it comes out complete. Okay? There are two ways to do it, both are correct. To get the waistband complete, remember to fold the paper in half, like this. And on this edge, you'll work on the waistband pattern. Remember to fold the paper in half. And that is where you will find point M. Point M is the middle of the waistband, essentially the center. And this is how the waistband can look if you fold the paper in half. Cutting the waistband pattern by the half is also correct, right? It's just that everyone uses their method according to their habit. Okay? This waistband is also ideal for cutting. We can either cut it completely or at the fabric fold. I know many people work with this waistband because it is ideal, of course. The difference is that you should fold your fabric when cutting, and the other you can cut directly open. Okay? When cutting, you must remember that at this part, you find point M, the midpoint. Here, in this way, you should fold your fabric just as we did with the paper, so that the waistband comes out complete in fabric. It must come out complete in fabric. In paper, there's no problem, but in fabric, yes. Once that's said, we start. No, just kidding. We're already in the video. So I'm going to show you how to cut your waistband correctly, okay? But before starting, I want to explain a little because there are many ways to cut. Many. When you're a beginner, you make mistakes that happen to me many times. I know it's going to happen to you, but so that it doesn't, I want to explain how to do it correctly because the location of point M is the most important thing, the ideal. That's where the center of the fabric is when folded. Okay? If you work in the wrong way, the waistband might not turn out well. Here, we have both examples. Before cutting the fabric, I want to show you how to correctly place the waistband, where to locate the M point, where yes and where no. Let's work with this paper as an example. We will use the green color as an example of how we should cut the waistband and the red color as how we should not cut the waistband. So pay close attention because this class is super important. Okay? Here, we have the waistband with measurements in millimeters. We have the bottom part, top part, center, and side. I remind you that the center is where we fold the paper and where we must always place the end point. Ready? Let's do it with this example with the green color. Here, this way is where we fold and we already have our center. We are going to place the template this way, remembering that the point M goes over the fold of the paper, very important. And the other part goes where we do not fold the paper. It is very important because if we do not place the pattern this way, it will not turn out well. When you do it at home, you must follow this recommendation as this way it will turn out perfect. Before continuing, I want to explain how to correctly position the fabric. The fabric has its vertical part and its horizontal part. The vertical part is known as the grain line and the horizontal part is the side that stretches more. Okay? Here, we have a piece of fabric as an example. The side that stretches the most is the horizontal part and the one that stretches the least is the lengthwise grain. Okay? So, we must fold on the part that stretches the most. That's where we are going to place a point meme. Remember that, okay? So here we have two examples. Green is yes and red is no. So previously, we placed the waistband on the green like this and red is no. This explanation is because many beginners make the mistake of not placing the M on this edge, but rather placing it the opposite way, and that affects the waistband. If we do not place point M as we should, we will have a poorly cut waistband, and that affects your fabric. You will have to buy more fabric to cut the waistband correctly again. Now, we're going to cut so you can understand how it looks with each cut example. Okay, let's go. While we cut the waistband, I want to tell you that I am creating a community on Telegram. If you want to join, go to the community link below, which will take you directly to the Telegram channel where you can share your opinion, like what class to watch each week. I want to share a free class with you live once a week. You can choose in the morning or in the evening once a week. And I also want to tell you that we already have our own website. You can find us at patronagejw.com, where we will soon have pattern sales and classes on that site. So let's continue, guys. And don't forget to share this video and give it a like and leave your comments. Those comments motivate me a lot. Well, let's continue. Here, we have both examples. How we should cut and how we should not cut. Now, the next thing we're going to do is remove the pins so you can see how each example turns out. Here we have how a semi-atomic waistband should look. This semi-atomic waistband is cut the way that expands the most. That is on the fold of the expander. Because many people cut the waistband on the grain line and it is more helpful when waistbands are straight. This waistband helps because it should have a little elastane due to its curve. When cutting the waistband, you should ensure that the side part remains like this, like so. And the bottom part should have this slight curve, okay? It can't have points or curves that aren't not pronounced, nor too high or recessed. For example, here we have example number 2, showing how we should not cut a waistband. Look closely. This way, a poorly cut waistband looks like it's entirely anatomical. It has a curve like a B. Many times it turns out like this, or it also tends to end up like this, like a heart, okay? If the waistband ends up like these two examples, it is poorly cut. So you must keep in mind when cutting your waistband because it can't end up in either of those two ways. Guys, this waistband we are making now is not fully anatomical. It is semi-anatomical. Remember, you cannot make these mistakes. If you make them, it's because you are doing it wrong. Your waistband is a slight curve, upper, lower, and side. Okay? The waistband we're working on is called a semi-anatomical waistband suitable for both men and women. If the waistband has a curve that is too pronounced, it would be an anatomical waistband.
Now, we are going to cut the fabric.
Here, we have two samples of fabric. We will identify which side stretches more, because remember, horizontal part and vertical part. The side that stretches more belongs to the horizontal part.
We check both, okay? One expands more than the other, okay? Since they are different fabrics, one is woven and the other is plain, but semi-stretch. We identify which side expands more in the fabric.
We remember that these parts are known as selvages, and in themselves, these fabrics come vertically over the selvage. Always the selvage is the vertical part, but many times it stretches in the opposite direction, so you should take that into account. Once we identify our fabric, both the horizontal side, since it's vertical, we can cut our fabric without fear. Guys, sorry this class is super long, but I'm trying to detail everything exactly as I teach it, okay? Because I need you to learn that if you're going to watch my videos, that you learn everything as it should be. I don't want to do a simple video of just recording and uploading and that's it. No, here we're going to learn well, okay? So guys, when we have identified how, in what way, in what manner to cut, so the fabric, we're going to put the pattern, but here we're not just placing the pattern to place it. We need to know how much to fold because we're not just folding for the sake of folding. Because when you're a beginner, even it happened to me, we're not going to fold by half the fabric and put our pattern. No, here we must know how much to fold because, for example, when we are beginners, we do this. We place point M on this side and point M. Remember that it goes on the fold of the fabric. Look what happens. Everything that is left over would be wasted. We cannot cut this way. Before cutting, we need to know how much the waistband measures both horizontally and vertically. This way, I can know how much to fold in the fabric to save. Look here at what distance it gives. So, what we are going to do is fold only the distance of my waistband. In this way, I save a lot of fabric.
We fold. We need to arrange our fabric.
Just like that. I'm not going to cut anything from the video so that you can see how to correctly position your fabric because many people sometimes ask me how to cut the fabric. I mean, this happens more often with beginners, people who take and who do not take our courses. They tend to ask me how to cut my waistband, and then I understand that they don't know because nobody is born knowing. So remember, the correct way is to learn step by step. Look how much to fold, okay? This way I can't cut the... What I have to do is keep adjusting until I have the least fabric possible in waist, okay? Because any fabric that is not on the edge of the pattern that is sticking out, we are wasting. And that little bit can be used for something else. The correct way is to align our pattern so that it's very well fitted to the fabric. Remember that here, when cutting the waistband, the important thing is point M, the fold. The fold must be aligned, squared with the fold line, whether the pattern is like this, or protruding, or tilted, it is wrong. Remember to place it at the edge. Okay? At the edge. It's very important. This recommendation, because if you don't place it well, it will turn out like the red example we made. Okay? It will be uneven, pointy like an axe, heart-shaped, anything but good. Bien. Then, we should place pins here on this edge, at the top, at the bottom of our waistband. Once we have the waistband properly in place, we can put pins in all these parts. Here, here, and here. Okay, guys. Once we place the waistband correctly, we can cut our fabric. Guys, if you like it, share and comment on what you think about this class. Okay? Because I'm doing it. For a long time, I recorded this class and hadn't been able to edit it. Imagine, I've spent almost 15 days making this video, recording, editing, and doing the dubbing so you can learn the right way. Zoe, let's check that the parts turn out really well. Remember, it should match the example. Green. Yes, this would be the M fold, with the M fold from here, which opens this way when cutting the waistband. Like this, having the upper and lower parts well cut. Okay? Now, once we have completed this entire procedure, we are going to take our scissors and cut. We can start either at the bottom or at the top. Now, we cut. I want to give a very important recommendation for beginners and people who do not know how to cut well. When we cut the fabric, they should always keep the scissors on the table. Why? So that when cutting, your cut doesn't end up like a saw, all uneven, like stairs. Okay? Keep the scissors on the table when cutting. Scissors and fabric on the table. This will help perfect the finish of your cut. It will make everything align just like the pattern. Ready? Ala. Look, scissors on the tables. We cut along the edge of the paper. No more, no less. If someone stayed until now, I want to give them a gift. Okay? For people who comment I will be giving away, even if they are not part of the GW pattern making class in the academy. I want to give them a hammer in PDF and a ruler in PDF with millimeters. Solo panto na. I'll mention that right away. Let's continue. Guys, once we have cut the first part of the waistband, we will do the following. Here, let's not remove the pattern at all. The only thing we are going to do is place it on top, okay? Place this cut on top of the fabric. We don't touch anything at all. All we do is place it, nothing else. Okay? Disassemble, testarewa. Yeah, we don't need to take out anything because the lower cut is the same as the upper one. Okay? Because it comes like that. The only thing that matters here is that the M line aligns. Remember? That's very important. Okay? Make sure it aligns. Remember that the top line originates from the bottom one. If you have already seen the class on pattern development for the semi-anatomic waistband, you will understand this part. Okay? So if you haven't watched it, I also have the video in the description on how to develop the waistband mold. So to make this cut, we can put a weight on top of our cut on our waistband, or if you like, you can place a magnet, scissors, phone, whatever helps it stay almost completely still since there is fabric underneath, and that provides even more support so that our paper doesn't move at all. Well, I'll tell you what I am going to give to the people who comment I want and share the video. I will be giving away in all the videos little things I'm working on for the premium groups. So likewise, if you comment and share, the more you comment, the better chances you have to win. Okay? I will be giving away a hammer in PDF. What do I mean by hammer? The hammer itself is the manga margin. Okay? What the opening includes. Okay? Where it has the opening to attach the shirt cuff, it's that opening that goes on the back of the sleeve.
So I'm going to give away
In PDF, the pattern, and I will also give away the measured rulers that are common for the live classes. I will be giving away the free PDF of rules, and there will be a paid version that will be exclusively only for those who wish to buy and help this big project I have for you. So I will be giving away two things, the rules plus the hammer in PDF. Comment, I want to be part of the community. Remember, the waistband should fit you just like this. It can't be in a zigzag. It can't be heart-shaped. It can't fit anatomically curved. Why? Because remember that this waistband is semi-anatomical. It is not completely anatomical because since this semi-anatomical waistband is suitable for men's pants, women's pants, skirts, Bermuda shorts, shorts for everything, okay? For everything. So, guys, I hope you like this video. I hope you comment, share, and support this project so that more people see and join the GW pattern making community. Done. Well, the next class, guys, comment in the community what class you want to see. I want to start first with the use of rulers, how to use the rulers. So I'm preparing a project for, as I said, for the community so they immerse themselves in Telegram. The group is called Patronage GW Community. Look for it on Telegram or enter the link I have in the description to go directly, or you can also join the WhatsApp group where there is also a community called Patronage GW Comunidad. Just that on WhatsApp, you need to enter directly through the link below, and in Telegram, you can go directly to Telegram and search for Patronage GW Comunidad, or alternatively, you can also click on the link below. Well, guys, that's it. I hope you made it this far. Over and out.